a lot of the comments we've had around Abdullah Baracha and his comments around business strategy. Anything that you've picked up that absolutely sticks out, let me know. 061 766 0355. Also want to know your thoughts around the Palestine-Israeli issue, and of course your eat plans in the light of COVID numbers going up. Okay, so Imraan Choonara is in Lebanon, and he's been, of course, part of the African Muslim Agency Relief Fund or relief work in Lebanon. So let's find out where he is today and what's been going on. Imraan, salam alaikum. Yeah, Imraan, do I have you there, right? Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And yes, I am actually still in Lebanon today, about to leave right now to the field. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Ashraf, can you hear me clearly?
I can. Not the best, but I can hear you. Go ahead, yeah. Okay, I think Imran's freezing up. Maybe just the connectivity is not so good. So sorry about that. Let's see if we can just sort that out. Right, there's a. Do we have any further messages? I think we may have or not. Okay, let's get some messages. Right, he might just. What have we got? Love it when people do connect. Okay, we'll try and connect with Imran shortly. Yeah, go ahead.
So somebody said to us, they said, Alhamdulillah, we spent most of Ramadan together, so we'll be together for Eid. There's a difference in visiting family members on Eid and having a get-together, because if we follow protocols like wearing protective masks, sanitize, and limit contact, it should be safe to visit family. As for spending all day with a whole big family under the roof, that may cause uncertainty. So if families can afford it, they should get tested in these days so they know they're safe and can get together. Family time is precious, but health and safety should be prioritized too. I love how everybody's got a medical opinion about COVID. Ashraf?
Well, I think so, and yeah. But the point about being tested, see, here's the problem: if you test on Monday and you get the results on Tuesday, it actually doesn't mean you can't get infected on Wednesday and have Eid on Thursday or Friday. Meaning it's an ongoing problem, and we never know, because my understanding, as someone who's been COVID positive myself, is that it takes 3 days before you actually feel the first symptom. So when you feel the first symptom, in fact, you already are infected for 3 days, and therefore potentially you could well have met 30 people.
It's
for
also
example.
quite a hefty amount. The tests are not cheap.
Well,
More than
700-800
yeah.
bucks. Yeah, nobody's going to do that all the time, and medical aid will not pay for that all the time. I think Imran's on the line now. Let's see if we can connect with him. Imran, do I have you there, right?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
Ashraf, can you hear me
Okay,
clearly?
yes, I can. Go ahead, right?
Fantastic, excellent. Well, right, I'm still in Lebanon, of course, and as you know, I mean, this part of the world right now is in turmoil. Not just Lebanon, of course. If you're watching on the news, if you're watching what's going on social media with Palestine, etc. And here yesterday, just to talk about the Palestine issue, just yesterday I visited a Palestinian camp here in Lebanon called Nahr Barid. Nahr Barid is a Palestinian camp that's been here since 1952. Interestingly enough, so it was given as a 1 square kilometer piece of land. And then over the years, since 1952, the only expansion has been to about 5 square kilometers. About 35,000 people live on 5 square kilometers. Now, here's the thing, though, you know, and this just got me thinking while I was in this Palestinian camp, because everybody I visited in this camp pretty much lives like a prisoner. So here you got Palestinians. It seems like the Palestinians, doesn't matter where in the world you are, it seems as if you're a non-entity. Here you got Palestinians who've been kicked out of their country, did not leave by choice, came into Lebanon as refugees, living in a refugee camp. However, this camp, they cannot go in or out without a security clearance and permission, which means some of the people that live in this camp have never left the camp, ever. So if they're born in the camp, they grow up in the camp, they don't leave the camp. That is their life. It's imagine having a 4 to 5 square kilometer area of in a suburb, and you're never allowed to leave it without permission. That's not freedom. That's not the world taking care of you as a refugee. That is imprisonment, frankly. And that's the thing.
Okay.
What I want people to understand is that what people go through in refugee camps, when the rest of us as humanity are meant to, they're seeking refuge, and the rest of us are meant to take care of them, because they're not willingly leaving their country. They're forcibly leaving their country or their home, and they're going to seek refuge. And yet, instead of giving them refuge, we imprison them in camps.
Yeah, good point.
I stayed in the camp the other night.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you were saying, you stayed in the camp. I mean, tell us
Yeah, I stayed in the
about the
camp the
work
other
there,
night.
therefore.
I
Yeah.
wanted to try to feel like what it was. We went there, and you think about, okay, let me try to see what it feels like to actually live in a camp. And frankly, Ashraf, there is no way you can actually understand what a refugee goes through, even if you spend a month in the camp. Why? Because the fact of the matter is, it struck me while I was sleeping that night in the camp, although it was freezing cold. Physically, I could feel, okay, it was cold tonight, or when I was sleeping on the floor, whatever the case is. But the fact is, I knew that I'm going to leave at some point.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they stay a week, 2 months. They knew that they're not going to leave. There's a very big difference in that one statement.
Absolutely agree with you, and how one approaches that mentally makes complete sense here. All right, anything else you want to tell us?
Well, I think first of all, I want people to understand that in these last few days of Ramadan, let's spare a thought for humanity around the world. Do not think about, and whether you're Muslim, non-Muslim, Christian, this, that, black, white, doesn't make a difference what the story is. Whatever your race, religion, ethnicity, nationality is, if another human being is suffering or is in need, whether it's hunger, whether it's poverty, whether it's oppression, whatever the case is, it is our responsibility to stand up for that human being and support them. If you choose not to support another human being because of their race, nationality, ethnicity, or whatever the case is, then there's something fundamentally with your humanity. And that's an important point to leave us on this morning, Ashraf, is that let's kind of just refocus and repurpose our humanity so we understand when a human being is suffering. Otherwise, what's the point of being in this world? Are you here just to serve yourself? Is it a self-serving purpose that you have in this world? Or is it a purpose that you have in this world that serves a fellow human being? Because we all have a limited time in this world, and let's be aware of that.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, and you guys certainly representing South Africa and Africa, African Muslim Agency, doing just that, serving humanity and doing so big time. So tell me, are you coming home before Eid, or what's your plan?
Well, that's the plan at the moment. We might arrive just on the day of Eid, or maybe the day after Eid, inshallah, because we're taking lots of children. Last night we took over 100 and somewhat kids shopping for Eid clothing. These are orphan and destitute children who often have never been into a shopping center or shopping for new clothing. We met many families yesterday afternoon, took them and their parents or guardians with us last night. Tonight we're taking over 300 orphans that are sponsored by African Muslims Agency and donors to African Muslim Agency. We're taking them shopping for Eid clothing and Eid gifts, etc. This evening we'll be doing that. So yes, the plan is to get as much of that done as possible before Eid, before we leave Lebanon, because that's the purpose here, is to oversee our More Than a Meal campaign right until the day of Eid. And of course the Eid gifts, etc., and the orphan sponsorship program. We want to make sure that orphans are treated the same way I would want to treat my children, and the same way you want to treat your children. We should not be looking down on orphans. We should be elevating orphans, not suppressing them.
Absolutely. Okay, that's where we can leave it. Thanks for your time, and hopefully we'll chat again tomorrow. Imraan Choonara,
Absolutely.
the CEO of Africa Muslims Agency. If it's Monday, it's Lebanon. Last week, Afghanistan. That's what the man does, representing a relief organization of note around the world. Somebody who's certainly done a lot of things of note is Dr. Ridwan Mia. He's featured in Champion People. Don't miss that.